Hello, welcome to this month's episode of the Smile, Create, Repeat demonstration video. I'm going to show you how to make a Scratchboard illustration using some of the supplies included in our March 2017 surprise. Alright, so I started by, in my sketchbook of course, coming up with an idea I like. It took quite a while actually, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I came up with this with an idea, and you might be able to see it a little bit. If not, that's okay. I'm going to show you, and it'll be like a little surprise, so that'll be fun. But I drew on it very lightly with a pencil, so I knew what I was going to be doing. And now we'll just start. So we have our scratch tool, and I'm using the straight blade. You have two of them. There's right here the tip is a little curved on the other one, but this one's straight. So I'm just going to start with the main part of my illustration. And I'm just getting nice fine lines right now, and thinking about the light, where the light and dark are going to be. And I did a lot of that in the initial sketch, and the marks I'm making are scratching the black away from the white underneath it, and I'm trying to do it to add texture. Sorry about stumbling with my words here. Adding texture, and I'm following the curve of the object that I'm drawing to try to show some form with them. And now I'm going in with a little more, just to make it a little lighter. Okay. Alright, let's see. So it's going good so far. Let's see. Yeah, we'll have those blend into the shadow. And then there's some, so I'm tipping it over, and I'm using more of the flat edge of the blade to make a little bigger mark, a little bigger mark, a little bit bigger mark, because there's a reflection or a glare on the highlight on the, this is a pencil I'm drawing. And there's another highlight here. And if I push harder, I make a little bit bigger mark because I'm on the side of the blade, and that makes it a little whiter, a little lighter. And I just go slow and steady, excuse me, and really think about what you're doing. Don't try to rush it, because this is quite unforgiving, this medium, because you can't go back over it really. You can get a fine black pen and correct some mistakes, but you want to try to capture what you're doing with scratching, I think. But ultimately, it's you do what it takes to get the drawing done, the work done. I'm not a big fan of rules and all that, although there's things I try to do when I draw. So with this pencil, the bare wood excuse me, is lighter than the barrel of the pencil. So I'm going to scratch it away. And I'm trying to show some of the texture of the wood, of the bare wood. And I'm going back and forth like cross-hatching. And I am using less pressure as I come down to the shadow side. And then I'm going to go up and increase it up on the highlighted side. Okay. And now the tip of the pencil has a highlight on it because it's shiny. So I'm going to try to make that smooth and just that. Excuse me. Okay. And I want to make this top edge a little bit. So what I'm doing now, excuse me, is again I'm using the flat edge and I'm trying to scrape, because with all these little marks I've made a lot of peaks and valleys. So this way I'm scraping some of that off lightly to bring the whole value of that up a little bit. And with this you can really try different tools. We're selling you an art supply box, so I don't want you to try other things. I want you to try what we got, but still try other things. You can use, be careful of course, use an X-Acto blade, maybe a paper clip, some steel wool to get different textures. Those all work. And here I'm going to knock this down with a value to make it a little lighter and see if I can get it to be a little more round. And then I'll go in and make those highlights again. So now that I've had those, maybe I will do them with the form to really show the curvature of the barrel of the pencil eraser. And I'm going to pay careful attention right here where the metal meets the wood, so there's a highlighted edge to really separate those. And then it's going to be in the shadow, but then maybe there's a little reflected light down here, so it'll be very light, just a indication of that. I don't want it too bold. Okay. Excuse me. So now the eraser is kind of like that. So I'm going to, get that, and then I'm going to go at an angle here to show the different planes. And just to show it that it's not smooth and perfect form. It's all messed up because this eraser's been used. And for now I'm going to keep it really quite untouched at the bottom, because I can always go in and scratch more away, but I can't put it back on really. And this curve is a little off, but I can't do anything about that right now, so I'm just going to try to contour this, because you see it looks quite square. So I need to try to bring that around. Okay, and then I'm going to try to be careful and leave a clean black line there to show maybe the edge of the metal there and the shadow of the eraser. And so now we have the shadow of the pencil. And I'm taking big cutaways of it. So instead of just scratching it away, what can I do to that with the strokes of my the knife here to make it look interesting instead of just scratching it away? So I'm going to try to do it all in one direction and then maybe go the other way. So instead of just, and I don't want it, and I'm not going to make it 100% clean. I'm going to leave some of the black lines in between. And I've also made a border here around the edge of the card that I want to preserve the black of it. And I'm also going to keep a black line. If you were doing this as a black line around my pencil, see what that looks like, and then I can get rid of it if I don't like it. But this will, excuse me, I'm doing that to make it look a little bit more like the illustration I'm thinking of. Okay. I'm going to have to turn this, sorry. And I have to turn it again. Whoops, that was too close. But that's alright. Okay. So here I'm pushing pretty hard. And I have the blade leaned over pretty far because I'm trying to use more of the edge of the blade than the point of it. And I don't think I'm going to go back. I talked about going across it at a different angle, but I don't think I'm going to, because I'm liking the way this is looking. And we will come in and soften the shadow edge. I'm going to be a little more careful over here because I don't want to mess up the line around the pencil that I made. But I think I'm going to have to go in and put some of these bold strokes into the pencil part too, because right now these marks are bold and confident on the outside, but on the inside I was a little too timid and careful. So maybe once we get most of it, the basics done, or the initial, that's it, the initial drawing done, we can then go in and adjust. And make sure you're not blowing all this black stuff in someone else's face or breathing it in. You're not going to want to do that. I was doing this with my my daughter, and we were right next to each other, probably like here and here, and she kept blowing it, and I was like, whoa, stop. She thought it was cute that she was getting it in my face. Yeah, she had a lot of fun doing this. She's she's 7. She really likes all this stuff. And yeah, if you do have kids, the nibs here are sharp, which I probably should have said this at the beginning, but they're sharp, so you got to be careful with them. And if your kid is using them, you're going to want to be with them and teach them how to use it the right way. Alright, so I'm really going in here, really punching up the white, oops, on the pencil. And now I'm going to, see now this light, let's work on keeping that little line there. This line, this plane of the pencil is now that bright, and this lightness is probably what I want for here, for the bottom, so I'm going to go in and add that in. And then make this, the middle plane, brighter. Almost as bright as this top plane was. And this kit also, this art supply subscription box that we sent this month has ampersand clay boards in them. And what those are, or what this Scratchboard paper is, it's paper, and then there's a fine layer of clay over it, and then black ink. So what the clay board is, it's a hardwood masonite panel that they then put clay on it, and then it's a multimedia panel. You will be able to go in and scratch that paint or ink or whatever right off. And one of the things I'm doing with this is it is getting too much of the same value. How it all looks like the black of the shadow's black, but then the rest is really all kind of the same. So I'm going to go in and really make some more white right close to the pencil. And maybe I am going to go nice and against the other lines to see what that looks like. Then I'm going to go out because I really want it to be light right next to the pencil, right next to that black line there. And then we'll add some highlights to the cast shadow. Oh, I almost dropped this right on it. My goodness, that would have left a big scratch right on it. Okay. So I'm just, I think it would have been better the other way. Let's try that up here. I don't know if it would have, but let's see. So I'm doing thin lines, and if it breaks, it breaks. So if the knife comes up and it's not a solid line across, that's alright. That's just going to help create the illusion of how it's not there's not too much light in there. And I'm going to go lightly in line 2, maybe a little closer to the edge of the shadow, and maybe that'll help soften that transition. Because out away from the item, the cast shadow has a softer edge. And how can we make this? Let's make this nice clean line there. We have a nice clean highlight there. There. That one's bigger. Right? So let's make that a little bigger. Alright. Well, I think, so that's it for the Scratchboard. We do have the marker, and I want to show you something else, but I'm just going to grab a tissue to see if I'm going to wipe this off, in case there's any of the black ink still on there. And there was, because I don't want that on my marker. Alright. So there we go. And this is one of the Cola Race color pencils that we like. So I'm going to go in with our watercolor brush, pen, and you can color right, you can make a messier illustration the first thing you do. So this I should have, oh my goodness, I should have made that. When I was scratching it, I should have indicated that that was going to be something other than that, because that looks like I'm just coloring over it and I didn't plan it, which I didn't, but then maybe just a little purple on that highlight. and then I'm going to color the entire pencil part, the painted part, with the purple, but I'm going to leave a little line where the highlight hits. Oh look, I didn't do it. Maybe I have something else up my sleeve. So this is a way you can color your Scratchboard. And if you have another color, you can use, of course, you can use a pink on the eraser, and the eraser might actually be lighter than that, so you might want to scratch into that. But I wanted to show you this, where once you have the color in there, you can still scratch away that a little bit. And this is still wet, but you can go in and do that. And I'm going to do it right here. Fix the tip of my pencil. Clean that up. There you go. And you can also go in, if you have a black marker or a black pen, if you've been with us you certainly do, but you can go in and touch up you need a pen that's writing, and that isn't, here we go. You can go in and clean up your lines if you need to. So there are, it's unforgiving, but there's ways to fix it. So don't worry about it. And right here I hit it with some purple that came out, which I'm going to draw over. And then I can go in and color that up. And you can even go in and cheat like this. It's not cheating, it's your drawing. You do whatever you want. And go in and add some of the little shadows maybe you scratched away or got scratched away or whatever. And then you can go in and even touch up that ink. Because right there, I don't know if you can see it, but the tip of it, you want to let it dry first, but you can go in and then scratch that away. Get a nice clean edge. So there you go. I hope you like that. Oh, not that one. The pencil. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. If you're interested in joining us and receiving these this art supply subscription box, head on over to Smile, Create, Repeat, because that's what you'll do. You'll smile when you get it, you'll create, and then you get another one the next month. SmileCreateRepeat.com. You can sign up 1 month, 6 months, or 12 months. We'd love to have you, and of course, if you do this, please share with us on social media or email us. We'd love to see what you do. So thanks again, and have a great month.